Let's check out the almighty echo effect. I just have a default patch of wavetable. I took the envelope down so it's a bit plucky. And let's load up the echo. So the echo is based on analog tape delay. It can do many things. Let's go over and see what's going on. First, let's just play what it sounds like right off the bat. So we can definitely hear the delay. First, we have, of course, the dry-wet mixing between the dry, non-echoed, non-delayed, to the wet, which is just the delay, just the echo. Let's put it on 50%. Here we have the input, which is going to boost up the input into the delay. So it's, of course, going to turn up the delays. We can also clip the dry signal. So let me put it on 0% to dry. That means we can also turn up the dry signal. If this is off, no change. But we can also turn on the dry signal if we want to clip it, if we want to create some distortion like the old analog units. Here we can invert the phase of the feedback, which one might introduce some changes in sound, especially for short delay times. Here we got the feedback, how many echoes we're going to have, how much the delay is going to feed back into itself. And we can go above 100 here, which will forever boost the volume. So be careful when you're going above 100, because it will boost the volume forever. Eventually it will clip. Let's turn it back down. Here we have the main timing for both left and right delays. Right now they're linked, we can unlink them, but if they're linked, they're changing at the same time. And by default, this function is a tape delay, so as we change the timing of the delays, we're also going to hear the pitch change. Here we can change and turn it off to milliseconds. And we can also change the time divisions from dotted notes by default to regular eighth notes, triplets, and just amount of 16th notes. Here we can also offset one of the delays slightly off each other, so forward or backward in time. So it creates some stereo effects. So they're slightly off each other. Of course, we can unlink and have one of them having a completely different time. Right here, we can open up the filter, and we have a high-pass filter and a low-pass filter. Nice. Let's close the filter. Here we have the main display, just visualizing the delay and the feedback. We can add a reverb on the delays. Let's turn it up. We can decide where is that reverb actually being applied, before the delay, after, or even to the feedback. We can hear now the reverb is also feeding back. Here's the decay, the length of the reverb tail. Here we have stereo. If we bring it down to 0, it's going to collapse everything to mono. Or if we go above 100, it's going to expand the stereo signal. The main output of the reverb, of the echo, and of course the dry wet. When we go to the modulation tab, here we can actually add some changes over time in the delay timing and the filter. So right here we have the delay, we can turn it up. So we can hear some pitch being changed to the delay. Let's turn down the reverb. And also to the filter. And we can even mix everything times 4 for a more extreme effect. Here is the speed of the LFO that is modulating the delay time and the filter. You can also take it out of sync, so free time for hertz, free timing. We can even change the type of waveform for the movement, or even random. And we can change the phase because right now it's a dual LFO, both the left and the right. So we can change the phase to completely cancel one of them. So now it's just mono modulation instead of stereo. We just hear it on one side instead of both sides being separate and opposite. We also have a built-in envelope follower that reacts to the incoming signal. We can bring it up to kind of mix between the LFO to the envelope to affect the modulation. And if in 100%, it's only listening to the envelope. Nice, so that's the modulation tab. You can do a lot of cool stuff here, like double tracking and just a very slow pitch drift and filter modulation. Very cool stuff. Next, we have the character tab. Here we have 4 different engines. Before we talk about them, here we can actually turn off the repitch. So now when we change in the timing of the delays, it's just gonna jump or fade to them instead of changing the pitch. First, we have gate. This is a built-in gate. So right now it's on 0 threshold. So if I play the notes, let's put it on 100% wet, they're not loud enough to actually pass the threshold. So if we bring down the threshold, now we can start hearing some notes. This is useful if you have a very dynamic type of signal sound that you're throwing into the echo, and you just want the loudest signals to be affected by the echo, or the loudest signals to actually be delayed. Ducking is a built-in sidechain compressor. So if we turn down the threshold, as we play, let's bring down the dry wet. As we play, the echo is going to listen to it, and it's going to actually reduce the volume of the delays as long as the sound is being played. So I'm going to play something, and we'll hear only when I stop playing, all the delays are coming up. So that's extremely useful, ducking, extremely useful to make sure that your sounds are clear, but still getting that added delay in between whenever the sound is playing. Here we have the noise, and noise is just a built-in noise generator. We can bring up the amount, which is the volume. And as you can see, it's constant, it's always there, as you can hear. And the morph is morphing between different types of noises. So a bunch of amp sounds, just ground noise, electricity, hiss, and all of those. And lastly, we have the wobble, and the wobble is another way to modulate, to change the timing of all the delays and filters. So if we bring it up again, we're going to start hearing the pitch change. And we can also change the morph between different types of wobble modulations. So this is quite extreme, but in small amounts, it emulates even more the inconsistencies of old tape delays. So that is the Echo. Extremely powerful delay, one of the best delays there are in the market. Thankfully, it's built in Ableton. Explore it. You can do so much with it besides just a regular delay. Echo, really great addition to Ableton Live 10.